Hey, it's Enigma Hood, and I want to talk about theistic evolution. Well, what is theistic evolution? Well, it's basically the notion of God using evolution to bring about humanity or bring about complex life forms on our planet. Now, do I reject theistic evolution? Of course I do. I'm an atheist. But what is the main problem with it? Why should we reject this notion of theistic evolution? Well, if you think about it, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, there is no direct contradiction between God and evolution. Evolution does not disprove God. So they don't stand in opposition to each other. However, the idea that God would use evolution to bring about complex life forms, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, even if we assume that he seeded many, many planets, not just Earth, with the seeds of life, it still doesn't really make sense. For example, evolution is not guided by any kind of external force. It happens on its own. It's guided by the mechanisms of evolution. That's natural selection, mutation, gene flow, and genetic drift. God is not a necessary component in evolution, so he's not necessarily using evolution. So if he wanted to create complex life forms, he doesn't need to use evolution to do it, right? If he's an omnipotent being, then he could just create it. Like, for example, if for some bizarre reason I'm God, and I wanted to create complex life forms, I wanted to create human beings, I wouldn't use evolution to do it. Personally speaking, I wouldn't do it like that, because I don't see what the point is. Evolution is a very inefficient process. It took billions of years for us to arise on this planet. So I would just create it. That's the other question, motive. Why would he want to create human beings or complex life? You have to, ask that question. Why would God do this? You can't really figure it out because, again, that whole idea of we want to create something because it provides something for ourselves, that idea comes into play. And if God needs something from complex life to provide for himself, then that means he's not omnipotent. So that's the reason why I don't like this idea of theistic evolution. Now, compared to creationists, actually, a creationist, if his idea is that God would not use evolution, I actually agree with them. I don't think he would. However, the fact is evolution is a fact, whereas God is not. I don't mind a person that believes in God but accepts all the scientific theories and facts like evolution. I'll disagree with them on theistic evolution, of course, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they believe in theistic evolution if they believe in God and they still accept evolution. Like, perhaps maybe they just think God created the universe and then let it go. And then everything after that just took place. So that would not count as theistic evolution. That would just be God created the universe and then just stood back and watched what happened. Creationists, you were rejecting the wrong thing. You are rejecting facts. I do agree with you that God would not use evolution to create complex life. However, that does not mean evolution is therefore false. It means that God is illogical in using evolution to create complex life. That's all it would imply. That's basically what I wanted to cover because I've been discussing evolution a lot recently, because of the new fossil that was found, the Darwinius fossil, and all the creationists come out of the woodwork. And with them comes some God-believing people that claim that God used evolution to bring about complex life on our planet. And to them, I guess we just have a disagreement there, although I do admire the fact that they accept evolution. Because evolution is a fact, and the most important thing, okay, you can believe in God, but the most important thing is always to accept evolution.